Good morning, you guys. Welcome to Maltese Grooming. I'm Carrie Peterson and I have Maybelline with me here today. We are going to talk about, I'm going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about the brushes that I use, and I'm going to talk about tear staining, okay? So the first thing, we're just going to spend about 10 minutes together. I've groomed Maybelline this morning, and I had a thought when I was grooming. I was thinking about the different types of brushes that I use, and people ask me all the time what kind of brushes I use. Now, there's two different kinds, actually 4 different kinds of brushes that I have here. Many of you guys already know what I use. If you do, great. Otherwise, we have a lot of new people, so I thought I would share what I use. So first of all, I bathed her, and today I did not use any kind of spray. I just put a deep conditioner on her and blow dried her. And during the blow dry process, there's a couple different things you're dealing with: static and mats. So when I get mats out, I start off with a pin brush to help get the mat out as much as I can, and then I come in with a slicker brush. Okay, this is a slicker brush, and it helps to get the mats out. So she mats up her head really bad, you guys. Like, she completely turns this into one big rat's nest, and she does it with her paws. She goes like this, like a cat, and grooms herself, and she gets it so matted up that if I didn't use these tools, I would completely lose her top knot, meaning all the hair would be gone. Okay, as you can see, her hair is coming in really nicely. I've got it, you know, 3/4 of the way down, right? And it's growing out nicely. But part of growing a really nice coat is nutrition. Part of it is the tools that you use, not just the shampoo and conditioner, but the combs and brushes that you use, okay? So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it. Okay, so in my experience, there are certain tools that work better at getting mats out, and some of them don't. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about what I like about each of these brushes and why. I like this brush. This is a All Systems, and I'll put the links to Amazon after I get done with this live, and you guys can purchase these if you want. This is an All Systems brush, okay? It's a long pin brush. These are very long because her coat is very thick and it's long, so you need something that has length to the bristle or the pins so you can get all the way down, okay? When you're brushing with these, you have to be careful not to get brush burn. How many of you guys know what brush burn? Brush burn is the skin literally gets kind of like a rug burn on it. And I noticed this morning when I was using this, this works very well to separate the hair follicles so it dries faster. But the problem is, as you go against the skin, you can see they're just regular pins, right? The brush burn comes very easily with this particular brush. So the pro is it dries faster because it separates the hair better, but you get more brush burn with it. This one is one that we were selling in our store. This is bamboo, and this brand is Omnipet. And this one has little nobules on the end of it. So you don't get as much brush burn, but it doesn't dry as fast as this one. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're worried, if you have a very thin coat, you would definitely want to use this one. If you have a thicker coat, this will speed it up. But be careful when you're going against the skin because you can get brush burn really easily, okay? And of course, we have 2 of my favorite tools. This one I like to cut back on static, and it's very, very, very soft. This is a Boar bristle brush. It's made by Christianson. And I use this one for her face. If their feet are real sensitive, you can use this on the feet. And it does help to make the coat lay really nice. See, look, it just makes the coat very silky, gets rid of static, and it does. It goes down to the skin. And if you have a puppy, you want to start with something very soft like this so it's a positive experience, okay? You also won't get the coat breakage with this. So if you're doing a lot of flicking of the wrists like this, it'll break the coat off, okay? So you got to be careful. If you're not growing the coat, you don't have to worry about that. But when you're brushing, you want to brush straight down and not flick your wrist at the end because you'll end up breaking the ends all off, okay? So you should always mist the coat when you don't, she had conditioner in her coat, but I'm talking about in between grooming. You want to make sure you mist the coat while you're brushing it. It prevents breakage, okay? This right here is the Always Bright Eyes Miracle Mist. Works great, okay? So now I'm going to put her hair up in a top knot, and then I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about tear stain. Right now she has bad tear stain because she needs her teeth cleaned. When they get plaque, it causes inflammation on their gums and they get tear stain. So she has a little bit of tear stain right now, and I use Always Bright Eyes. That's what I use for tear stain. All of these brushes are different as far as somebody was asking about cushioning. This one does have a lot of cushion to it, has a lot of give to it, but even though it has a lot of cushion, you still can get the brush burn. This one also has give to it. This one obviously has no padding, but it's a very soft bristle. This one also does not have a lot of give to it. So the bristles are very fine, and I use this to get her mats out, okay? She had a lot of mats this morning because she goes out in the snow to go potty. She gets leaves in her coat. She licks her coat a lot. So she gets a lot of mats, so I have to use this. So what I do is I go in and I separate the mat as much as I can after she's been conditioned. And then as I'm blow drying, I'm using a tool to kind of pull it apart. Kind of like if you were getting tangles out of a ball of yarn, you would slowly work it apart, and then I just keep blow drying as I'm pulling the mat apart. And then of course I come in with this, okay? So I'm gonna put her hair up in a top knot, and then I'm gonna put her tear stain treatment on. These are just bands that we sell in our store. Go to Maltese Groom, click shop, and these are just wrapping bands. Okay, very simple to use, very stretchy. And I put 2 of them because her coat's really long. I put 1 in the front and 1 in the back. And every single week, she mats it up. Now, if I was combing it every day, I wouldn't have to deal with that, but I don't. I don't groom her every day. Okay, so I separate it into 2 parts. Okay, now I take a tiny bit behind it. This helps the top knot from falling forward in their eyes. I should have a comb to separate this out. I don't know where my comb is right now. But I'm just taking a tiny bit. And remember, the tighter you make the top knot, the more they're going to scratch at it, you guys. Okay? Wrap it about 3 times. And you can see it's pretty loose. This is just for maintenance between if you're going to dog shows or if you are just keeping them in long coat and bathing them. I did some deep conditioning on her beard today and her facial finishings. I did some deep conditioning because it breaks off, it gets dry. If you have a lot of staining on the beard, you can also use Always Bright Eyes below the beard down here. Just use a water bottle to give them drinks instead of letting them soak their face in a water dish. Okay, so the first step is the liquid. And the second step is the powder, okay? You can go to MalteseTearStain.com if you want to purchase this kit. Getting her brush that you're supposed to apply the, oops, sorry guys. Supposed to apply the liquid. Where is my, it's not here for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you put the liquid on with this. This and this comes with the kit. And if you have a tear stain problem and it's severe, you need to put it on daily. It's what's recommended. And then you put it on 1 to 2 times a day. Make sure you get the liquid down to the bottom of the staining. Again, you can order this at MalteseTearStain.com. So once you have that section that's stained really wet, then you just want to saturate it, right? This is all natural. It doesn't have bleach in it. It doesn't have any kind of cornstarch or harsh chemicals. Okay, so now I've got it saturated. You see? It's wet. Okay. Okay, then I take the other brush right here and I put a ton of powder on it, okay? And then I just kind of blot it. Okay, and then I'm going to let it sit for a minute, and then I'll show you what you have to do, you guys. In order, I see people saying this product doesn't work. It does. I've had far too many people say how great it is. There's tons of testimonials on Amazon, but you have to be consistent. That's why I don't put this on her very often, and that's why she has staining. If I did it every day, twice a day, this staining would be gone. Okay, then you have to work it in. You have to work this powder in, okay? Because when you do this, it activates the powder. Okay? Then I put a little more on. You can't put too much on, you guys. It's not going to hurt their eyes. It's not going to make them sick. And if they shake their head and a bunch comes off, you can just put more on later today, okay? And it'll kind of look like clumpy, and that's okay. I just kind of work it in. And that's it. You just leave it just like that. You don't rinse it out. She's so good. She just lets me do whatever. She sat here for an hour while I blow dried her. She laid on her side. She let me demat her belly. This dog is incredible. She's so tolerant and loves, I love grooming and she loves being groomed. Loves it. It's like, I'll see if I can show you guys how I get her to lay on her side here in a minute. See? Now I just keep working it in like this. Okay? So, once I get it all worked in, I put some to top it off. And I could put bands in her face right here to keep all this left alone, but I know that she'll scratch at it and she will just end up ruining her. If you're growing show coat, the idea is to prevent them from doing any more damage as possible to their face. You don't want them clawing at it. You don't want them pulling on it. So I'm not going to band her face right now, okay? But if you wanted to, you could band this hair back. You just go straight down from the eye, and you take this whole section of hair and you band it. You put this in a band, and then when they're eating, drinking, whatever, it doesn't get so much in the water, okay? So that's a solution if you want to do that. And then I just leave it on there, okay? So that's that. So we've put her top knot up. We have treated her tear stain. Now, let's say you have a dog that has mats on their belly and you want to get the mats out. I'm going to show you what I do to get her to lay on her side. Now remember, she can't hear me, so it's all by hand motion, okay? So I'm putting my hand on her, this would be her left shoulder, and I'm going to just make her lay down like this, okay? And I'm going to hold her there for just a minute until she knows what I want her to do, okay? Then I'm going to give her a little love behind her ear. I'm just going to scratch her ear and help her to relax. And she's like, oh, okay. Now, obviously, this takes a lot of practice. You can just kind of pet them like this so that they learn to trust you and relax. And this is what I did this morning when I was blow drying her belly. I just was, getting her to relax. Then I kind of hold underneath her right shoulder, and then I just comb her belly. It also makes it easier if you're blow drying to do this so you can, work on their feet like this, so that when you blow dry them, or if you're trimming with scissors, if you're trimming their feet, this makes it way easier, you guys, than trying to have them sit and you're trying to bring their leg up in the air like they're giving a high five. This is much easier, right? So if you can train your dog to lay on their side, it makes grooming way easier. Okay? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope your Saturday is going great. And I just wanted to pop on real quick and give you guys some tips about the brushes. I will add the links after I am done taking care of her. And you guys can go order those brushes if you want. Every brush serves a certain purpose for me. That's why I have more than one. And just prevents coat breakage and also makes it easier for the dog. And their Maltese have very sensitive skin. So you have to use things that are pretty gentle. And even this brush, you know, I like it for its purpose, but you got to be careful, okay? So have a great day, guys. Let's see, I'll let you guys see Maybelline. Her coat's growing really nice. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining me. If this video has helped you, please, you know, follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and there will be much more to come. Take care. Bye-bye.